Hi, Randy Orr with Berkshire Hathaway and the Orr Group here in Laguna Niguel. If you're thinking about moving to Laguna Niguel and would consider living on the edge, I have a community you have to take a look at. Let's jump in my car and go take a look. So I'm sure you're wondering, what do you mean by living on the edge? Well, I'm at the intersection of Crown Valley Parkway coming from the freeway down towards the coast. Across that intersection is Dana Point, and as I make a left on Camino de la Avion is the street that separates Laguna Niguel on this side from Dana Point being on that side. So that's what I mean by living on the edge. We are on the very, very edge of the city, and we're going to be making a left-hand turn traveling on Camino de la Avion in, I'm going to guess, a south, probably parallel to the coast going south. We're going to go to a community called San Marin. I love this community. It's a very small community. There's only 137 homes in the entire community. And there's like one major section, I'll drive you through that, and then there's a street above, I'll drive you down that street as well, a couple streets off of that. Those are the two larger areas of San Marin, and then across the street near the elementary school there is one street which is also included in the San Marin community. But San Marin is a highly, highly sought after community with not a lot of inventory at any given time. There's only about 2 or 3 sales per year, maybe 3 on average. Again, we're traveling now on Camino de la Avion. We're passing a community on the left-hand side, gated community called South Peak. It's very, very nice. But everything on the right-hand side of me now is considered Dana Point. And we're now at the intersection of South Peak, which leads into this very nice gated community. I'm gonna speculate properties value, well, I know, from about low 3 million, maybe high 2 million, up to over 5, and 5 million is probably the top sale in that community in most recent years. But a very nice gated community. It's 24-hour guard gated. We're now going to approach the intersection of Niguel Road. From about this point on, I'm going to give you an aerial view of what this looks like so you can have an appreciation of Camino de la Avion traveling in a southeast direction. We're stopped at Ritz Point. This feeds a community on the right here known as Ritz Point. There's a couple different communities in here, but the nicest community in here is Ritz Point. There's also a couple smaller subdivisions, an area of condos, and then to the left, a community called Niguel Coast. Very nice community. Again, not to be redundant, but everything on the left is Laguna Niguel, everything on the right is Dana Point. Now here's the intersection, and we're probably taking an aerial view of this right now. This is the intersection of Niguel Road and Camino de la Avion. There's a nice shopping center located on the right here. There's a very popular eating and drinking place. It's a kind of a young hep oriented. It's called Project Social. There's also a sushi bar. There's an Orange Theory Fitness in there. There's a health 24-hour emergency center here. And as we travel up this street, everything to the left-hand side, and the community we're going to go to is located right above to the left here. So I'm now heading back towards the intersection, traveling the opposite direction on Camino de la Avion, approaching Niguel Road. And we're going to make a right-hand turn. There are just 2 streets that enter into the communities here, and I'm going to be making a right onto Charles, which is the main street that goes into San Marin. So as we travel up Niguel Road, we're approaching Charles. It would be the street that you definitely turn onto to enter into San Marin. We're going to see the monument, the brick monument, right ahead of us at the entrance to San Marin. And I'm going to drive slow through the community for a couple reasons. Number one, if I drove quickly through 137 homes, it would be a very short video. Still going to be a short video because the truth is there are not a lot of homes in this community. It is a small community of just 137 homes. So I want to make sure we get a good look at this community. The architecture of this is very Mediterranean. The homes are incredibly well taken care of. Front yards are very, very well manicured. I've sold several homes in this neighborhood, several actually recently in this neighborhood, and they go quickly and they do go for top dollar. Once you come down the main street, Tidemark, and again, there are two other streets that we're going to travel down. Off of Tidemark, there's a couple cul-de-sac streets. Here's one to the right. But as I drive through this community, you can get an appreciation of how well these homes are maintained. There's a tremendous amount of pride of ownership in this community of San Marin. Homes that do come on the market last hours to days, only because very few come on the market, and they do sell very quickly. In terms of the size of homes, they range from about 2,500 square feet to about 3,400 square feet. The floor plans that are above 2,800 square feet, some of them do offer 5 bedrooms. All of them are either 4 or 5, but you have to get to 2,800 or above in terms of size. I'm going to make a left here on Blue Horizon, and I'm going to make a special mention of this street. And the reason is, on the right-hand side, we're overlooking Camino del Avion, and all of these homes would have good views. In the other direction, I'm going to take you back the other direction on Blue Horizon. The homes that are at the end of this street in the other direction, the cul-de-sac side at the other side, those would be the homes that have the most spectacular views. And those homes are going to command top dollar because of the neighborhood. I'm sure they're nicely upgraded. Nothing is sold recently on those pinnacle lots, but if they were to come to market, they would sell well above $3 million. So traveling back in the other direction, it is a cul-de-sac in both directions, so there's just not a lot of through traffic on these streets. When we get to the end of the cul-de-sac at the other side, I'm going to point out the 2 or 3 homes that would command the absolute top dollar should they ever come on the market. So ahead of us, not so much the house on the right, it would be having a good view but not the best view. That would be number 1, Blue Horizon. But the house to the left, number 2 and number 4, should either of those come on the market, they're going to sell in minutes with multiple offers because they have incredible ocean views and large lots. Being at the end of this cul-de-sac, they're going to have those wedge-shaped lots that the end of the cul-de-sac is known for. They're very, very wide at the other side, and they all have glass walls on the rear side of the property so that it doesn't obstruct any views. Those would be the absolute highest sales in the community, along with this home number 6 in front of us. Not to say that the other homes won't enjoy incredible sales prices, but those 2 or 3 homes will break the mold when it comes to price. I'm going to go back to number 41 Blue Horizon because it's the most recent sale in the community. All of the homes in this community, all of them have 3-car garages, so no such thing as a 2-car garage. The home that I'm going to show you is on the left-hand side, which means it's a non-view home. It's number 41 Blue Horizon on the non-view side of the street. Had this home been on the other side, it would have probably sold for $300,000 to $400,000 more. So this is 41 Blue Horizon. It is the most recent sale in the community. The list price was $2,650,000. It sold for $2,650,000, and it sold in 1 day. The home is 3,280 square feet. It's a 4-bed, 3-bath floor plan. Again, a 3-car garage. It was nicely upgraded, but sold in a day to a very fortunate buyer who only paid list price because it could have easily gone over had they maybe held it a little bit longer, but the recorded sale was 1 day. I'm traveling back on the main entrance street now, and I'll take you down one other cul-de-sac. But that home that I just showed you, 41 Blue Horizon, sold for $807 per square foot. That's kind of on the somewhat lower side. Homes, if a home were in not great condition and didn't have a view, you could possibly find something in the mid to lower sevens. But $850, I would say with confidence, is a pretty good starting point for dollar per square foot in this community. I'm going to show you a home that sold for over $1,000 a foot in one of the other sections of Blue Horizon. This is also a very nice street. And I would also say that this home on the left-hand side, should it ever come on the market, would also command top dollar because it enjoys the same view as number 2, 4, and 6 Blue Horizon. This home, number 4, would also enjoy a nice healthy sale because these homes at the end of this cul-de-sac have the great, tremendous view. I'm gonna make a right-hand turn on the entrance street we came in off of Niguel, which is Charles. This is Charles that I'm making a right on. And we're gonna head up just a real short distance here to this entrance street called Paradise Cove. And as I enter this street, this is another little pocket of San Marin. Not as many homes in this community, well, it's the same community. Not as many homes in this little pocket of San Marin homes, but they are equal in terms of pride of ownership, the well-manicured front yards. In most cases, the interiors are extremely well taken care of, and most of them are highly upgraded. There's just not a lot of traffic on any of these streets because they're relatively short cul-de-sac streets, but just a beautiful, beautiful neighborhood to drive through. So with just 137 homes in the community and only 2 or 3 per year selling, we're about average for the number of homes selling in a given number of homes per year. In other words, the turnover ratio is around 2 to 3% on average, and this neighborhood does reflect about the same turnover, but the difference is this neighborhood turns extremely quickly in terms of when the home hits the market. Most of them are sold in hours or a day or two. Very, very few, unless they're overpriced or they're in poor condition, which is not very often. They could linger a little bit on the market. And when I say linger, we could see a sale being, or a home being on the market 30 days roughly, when right now average days on market are hovering around 60. That would be a lingering sale in this community, half the time of average. So I just made a left-hand turn on Whitesale. This is a unique street. It's the only street on this side of Charles that is considered San Marin. The homes are the exact same, floor plans are the same, range of homes between about 2,500 square feet to about 3,400 square feet, same. Pride of ownership. But the unique thing about this street is it's a single loaded street. Homes only on one side, they're all on the view side. And I'm gonna come back to this house that's on the left-hand side. It's number 27 Whitesale. And the reason I'm making a mention of it is this home sold in 3 days. I would bet it had multiple offers because the list price, as we go back and take a look, the list price was $2,995,000 and it sold for $3,200,000. $200,000 over asking price. This street is again a cul-de-sac street. At the very, very end of this street, on the right-hand side, we're seeing evidence of the elementary school that's in the community. This is not an entrance to the school, it's just where the school does have the backup wall to the community. These homes right here, number 1, 3, and possibly number 5, might be the least desirable homes in the community because it's right across the street from that service entrance to the elementary school. So my guess is there may be a little bit of noise from that community. Probably, honestly, would not be my first pick, number 1, 2, or 3 Whitesale, or 1, 3, or 5 Whitesale. But I'm sure the people that live there are enjoying the community nonetheless. So I'm going to take you back to number 27. All the houses on this street are odd numbered because they're all on the single loaded side of the street. And as we approach 27, I'm going to give you what I would call the frontal view. Now this home was, or is, 3,177 square feet. It is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath floor plan, and it hit the market at $2,995,000 and sold for $3,200,000. It does have an incredible view. It is, again, a 3-car garage floor plan, and the UPS driver would be appreciative if I moved, so I'm going to. But that is the record sale for the community. That home sold in just 3 days at $200,000 over asking price with multiple offers. As long as we're so close, I'll drive you just a half a block to the left so we can take a look at the elementary school that these communities in this neighborhood, all the communities here, would go to this elementary school. There's a park on the left-hand side called Ocean Breeze Park. There's a little tot lot, large grass area. It is adjacent to the school, but it is not owned by the school. It is a public park, so anybody can use the park facility here. And as I approach this next driveway, I'll make a left in here so you can get an idea of this school. My son went to this elementary school. It's Malcolm, John S. Malcolm to be correct, but everybody calls it Malcolm Elementary. As you can see by that plaque ahead of us, this was a National Blue Ribbon school. The Blue Ribbon Award is given to a school. It's only given once and then they rotate. So it's not as if it's multiple years, but a year in the past, it did win the National Blue Ribbon Award, which is for excellence in education. It's part of the Camino Capistrano Unified School District. And again, my son went here and he did enjoy his time at this school, as much as an elementary school kid can enjoy a school. Just to give you a reference as we exit out this driveway, if I were to make a left, I would be driving into the communities of Beacon Hill. Now, Beacon Hill is the master plan community. I have done a video on that, so it's in my library if you want to take a look. But Beacon Hill has many, many subdivisions within, ranging from condos in the $600,000 price range up to large single-family homes with incredible views topping $3 million. So that would be in back of us. Very nice, again, high desirable neighborhood, Beacon Hill, and all the communities within Beacon Hill. You can see ahead of us the Pacific Ocean looking over those rooftops, and that would be similar to the views that those pinnacle lots that I pointed out would have a opportunity to enjoy. White Sail again here on the right, leaving the community here. Paradise Cove on the left. But the largest collection of homes would be if I were to make a left, and we did tour this area here on Tidemark. Well, I hope you enjoyed our tour of San Marin. It's one of my favorite communities with just 137 homes. Every one of them, as you drive by, is meticulously manicured. A lot of pride of ownership in this community. If I can help you with this or any community in Laguna Niguel, please give me a call. My information's on the screen. Randy Orr with Berkshire Hathaway, changing lives one home at a time.